2026 marks the 20th anniversary of Class listing on the SGX, a significant milestone that reflects 2 decades of disciplined growth, active portfolio management, and a clear commitment to delivering long-term value. Formerly known as Ascott Residence Trust, Class began as a Pan-Asia REIT in 2006 with just 12 properties. Today, we have transformed into a leading global lodging trust with a diversified portfolio of 103 properties across 16 countries. Over the years, we have expanded into new geographies across Europe and the USA, strengthening our foothold in gateway cities worldwide. These strategic moves enhance portfolio diversification and strengthened resilience across market cycles.
First of all, I have to say I've been very privileged to be part of Class for the past 4 years. When I look back at the history of Class's 20-year journey, I think 3 milestones come to mind. One is really the Trust's continued ability to pivot itself to market cycles and future-proofing the Trust. Right? One of which is really the pivot into the living sector. Right, in the past few years since COVID, we've doubled down in this sector, acquiring a much larger portfolio of rental housing properties in Japan. Today, we have more than 20 properties there. And also in 2021, pivoting into the student accommodation space. So today, this living sector for the Trust accounts for just under 20% of the Trust assets under management. The second significant milestone in my mind would be the merger with Ascott Hospitality Trust. So that happened just prior to COVID, which allowed the Trust to acquire a very good portfolio of hotel properties to add to the Trust's diversification. Thirdly, which is a more recent pivot, is really pivoting into development projects, which will help the Trust acquire projects at more accretive yields than core assets. So we have executed well in that front. I think our first property that we had developed in the Trust is a property called Life One North in Singapore that has since completed and performing well. The second property, which we had developed in the Trust, is actually offshore in the US, near the University of South Carolina. That is a student accommodation property that completed development in 2024, currently yielding well for the Trust. The third and fourth, one in Singapore, the previous Somerset Liang Court, and then the last in the UK, which we have just started redevelopment, a very prime property in the UK, London, Mayfair area called the Cavendish. And I think the Trust is positioned to do more moving forward.
Class offers investors a compelling proxy to the global lodging and living sector. We are the largest lodging trust in Asia Pacific, with a diversified portfolio spanning service residences, hotels, rental housing, and student accommodation across multiple geographies. Our portfolio gives us the flexibility to cater to a broad range of guest profiles, from corporate to leisure, and from short stay to long stay guests. With an average length stay of about 2 months across the portfolio, this translates into stronger income visibility and greater earnings stability.
When I look back at Class's strategy, I think 2 key differentiations come up to mind. One is the setup, where we are very privileged to be a sponsored REIT under CapitaLand Investment. Through CapitaLand Investment and the operating arm, the Ascott Limited, we get access to a pipeline of deals as well as a pipeline of partners for us to be able to leverage on that economies of scale to grow faster and have much better operating margins. I think the second is really the ability of the team to portfolio reconstitute for better resilience and quality of earning.
Since our IPO, Class distribution income has grown at a compounded and annual growth rate of about 12%, and we have delivered a total return of more than 250% to staple security holders. These outcomes reflect the strength of our operating performance, and our disciplined approach to portfolio and capital management. While CLAS reconstitutes our portfolio and takes on AEI projects, we remain committed to maintaining stable distributions, and we have the flexibility to distribute past divestment gains to mitigate the impact of CLAS income.
Well, actually, there are many things to be excited about in CLAS's next journey. But if I were really to pick, I will pick these four. One is we've started the journey to really increase the proportion of living sector to the trust portfolio. I mentioned earlier today we have under 20% of our AUM in the living sector. We will look at increasing that proportion closer to the 25-30% mark within the next journey. Second is focus. The geographical diversification does give the trust resilience in terms of earnings, but I think it is also useful for us to take a pause and focus on certain key markets and divest out of certain markets that may be less core to the trust. Third is really the capacity for growth. Given that the trust has been in business for 20 years with more than 100 properties across the globe, these are properties whereby there is a huge potential to unlock more value of, which we will be looking at unlocking this value through a disciplined and prudent approach of AEI and refurbishment over the next few years. Lastly, it's really to continue on our very prudent and very disciplined approach in managing the trust for all our stapled security holders. And the fourth point, which keeps me excited, right, over the last 20 years, we've been very privileged to be recognized for various areas of excellence. Firstly was really the Singapore Governance and Transparency Index, where CLAS has been the first in the REITs and business trust space for the last 5 years running. Now, the second, in terms of financial excellence, is an award that we had received from Edge Singapore recently. In the Billion Dollar Club Award, CLAS was conferred the company with the highest profit after tax over the last 3 years. And the third, in the sustainability space, is won by S&P, where we were included in the S&P Global Sustainability Yearbook, and we were the only global lodging trust in Asia Pacific to be included in the yearbook.
As we mark CLAS 20th anniversary, we extend our deepest appreciation to our stapled security holders for your trust and support, and to our sponsor and our operators for their strong partnership, and to our teams around the world for their dedication. Thank you.
Chairman, if you allow me, can I ask you a few questions?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, CLAS has many properties in the portfolio, and you've stayed in many of them before and since you came on board. Can based on your experience so far, which is your favorite CLAS property?
Favorite property? I think I got many favorite property. Yeah, but the one that I'm really excited about is the Cavendish London, and it's very well located in Mayfair, London. I've seen the plans for the AEI. And I love the plans for the AEI. And we are embarking on this AEI this year, 2026. And I'm really looking forward to it. And also, I think what is exciting is that we're also putting in the Ascott's Crest Collection brand. So that will be very exciting. Yes.
Yeah, agree with you. Something to look forward to. Second half of 2027 akan datang. Come stay with us at the Cavendish in London. It will be a refreshed, new experience. The next question, what do you think is one quality that has helped CLAS to stay strong over the past 20 years?
That one quality is actually quite fundamental, I believe, and it is in our DNA. And that is our very rigorous and disciplined approach to everything that we do, and our commitment to the long-term value and building this long-term value for all security holders.
If you have to sum up your hope for CLAS in the next 20 years, I know it's not easy, but if you were to sum that up, what would that be?
It will be sustainable growth and recurring income. And that is something that is very important for for us. And I really look forward to making sure that the team and management team and the entire board is all aligned to deliver that to all our security holders.
Thank you, Chairman, for taking the questions. With that, I'd like to thank everyone for staying with us. Happy 20th birthday, CapitaLand Ascott Trust.
And many more years of excellence. Thank you.
Congratulations to Ascott REITs on reaching the 20-year milestone. As the inaugural chairman back in 2006, I'm delighted to see the fruits that we planted and grown. Your double-digit growth in asset value and expanding into foreign countries is very impressive. To the present leadership and management, I note that you stay rooted in the strategy while boldly embracing the future. You've done a wonderful job. Keep on moving forward, keep on growing. And to this, look forward to decades of success. Happy anniversary.
Congratulations, CapitaLand Ascott Trust, on your 20th anniversary. You've done well over the years, and I have every confidence that you will continue to do so in the years ahead. Once again, many congratulations.
Congratulations, CapitaLand Ascott Trust, on your 20th anniversary. You have grown by leaps and bounds. I'm very sure you will have many more good years ahead.
My heartfelt congratulations to Class as you celebrate your 20th anniversary. I am indeed honoured to be part of the journey, and I wish Class all the very best, all the successes for the next 20 years. Cheers and congratulations again.
Congratulations, CapitaLand Ascott Trust, on your 20th anniversary. I'm very blessed to be part of this wonderful journey. Thank you, unit holders, for your support always, and I wish you all continued success.
20 years of artistry in a class of its own. Congratulations.